What is going on, guys? So today we're actually going to be taking a look at a very new sync pair that we've got inside of Pokémon Masters, and that is Caitlin and Reuniclus. So I'm desperately hoping that I'm pronouncing that Pokemon's name right. Again, anything after Gen 4, I'm really rusty. So first, let's actually go over our base stats and just kind of look at what we're working with. So an HP of 453, an attack of 125, a defense of 131, special attack of 333, yes, special defense of 132, and a speed of 175. So already we're actually looking pretty decent. We are going to predominantly do psychic type damage. We are going to have a weakness to ghost, so that kind of just falls in there. But as you can tell from our base stats, special striker is what we're going to basically excel at. Now the only things that I kind of dislike about our stats is our defenses are kind of pushing the low end, and our speed is actually quite low as well. So it's not the best situation to be in, but it's definitely not the worst either. So a huge special attack may push Caitlin to a very interesting spot. Our defense is pretty bad, which means we do have to hide behind some bulkier Pokemon in solo and avoid the attack rotations in co-op, but we could do some decent damage in the right situation. As far as our damage output goes, Hidden Power is pretty standard. 2 bars for 60 power, and that's fine. Psychic, being a 3-bar move for 118 damage, is actually the best that the Psychic type moves have right now, so that's actually not too bad either. We've already got a pretty decent little package, but then you add on Don't Bore Me to get some more special attack, sharply raising our special attack at that, which is actually a great addition, but it actually also helps our bulk as well by boosting both our defense and regular defense. Now those are only standard raises, they're not sharply raises, but still, adding to our lowest stats is probably going to be a good thing here. But that's not all. We still have move gauge boost. That's a really weird thing to say, which just flat out increases our move gauge by 3. Now it's not the same in terms of how Rosa does it, where she does everyone's move gauge. It's only going to be your particular move gauge. So it's not as powerful as Rosa's if you get into like the co-op situations, but it's still pretty decent to give yourself back some bar. Like I've always said, that's an amazing, amazing feature to have on any Pokemon at this point. So straight away, this little blob is basically going to be able to do a ton of damage right out of the gate, and then it has a bunch of bar regen to keep it going further and further. When it comes to utility, it's kind of awkward for Caitlin, okay? So while we do have some serious damage in the right situations, we're also very self-sufficient. And depending on how you take that, that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. Synergy is kind of absent when it comes to Reuniclus. In solo, I feel like this is where Reuniclus is really going to shine. Pair with a special attack booster and basically any other bulky character, and the AI is basically going to just avoid attacking you for the entire battle, which is exactly what you want. Considering that our defenses are so low, we basically want to stay away from all the damage that we possibly can and just continuously output tons of damage. That in itself means that there's not a ton of synergy that's really needed to let Reuniclus shine here. And in those battles where Psychic is the preferred typing, where it's going to be advantageous to bring Psychic in, Reuniclus is basically going to be amazing. In co-op though, So here's my problem with Caitlin. She's so self-sufficient that her teammates may be yearning for some help. And depending on how you play, that may be right up your alley. Our whole toolkit already keeps Reuniclus going, but we really can't offer our teammates any help if they need it. So in the right situations, that can be just fine. But in other situations, you may end up being that one leg on the table that kind of makes it wobble a little bit. In terms of our future proofing, I'm not very hopeful here. So the one thing that we do have going for us is that we basically are a really strong psychic type attacker right now. But we really don't have any evolutions coming our way, and nothing in our toolkit really screams like I'm gonna be paired with something great in the future. Because we're so self-sufficient, it's not like we need to help out anybody else. It's not like we really need help from anybody else either. So in one aspect, we could have a really strong psychic attacker for quite a while. Because we're so self-efficient, we can keep ourselves up for so long. But on the other hand, we could be in that situation where we're just going to get phased out rather quickly. I mean, there are a ton of psychic Pokemon that they could be introducing in the near future that could completely rule us out. But it just kind of is up to DNA on how they want to do that. I mean, there's a ton of things that they could do to give us more psychic type damage. It just really depends. So it's kind of a 50-50 situation for me. We could be really strong for quite a while, but we could get phased out rather quickly and we would never know. So some team ideas that I thought of. Now, of course, as usual, these are just off the top of my head, not practiced in any way. I don't know if these are actually going to be good or not, but just on paper, these sound really interesting to run. So the first and probably most obvious one is Rosa and Phoebe. Now, the reason that we're going with Rosa and Phoebe is because it's basically a cookie cutter team that allows two bulks, two supports, if you will, on the outside, and then you have one striker in the center that can just go to town. The AI in solo is always going to be attacking those bulks, and you don't really have to worry about it. Like, Reuniclus can basically just go to town and do whatever it wants to. Pretty standard stuff. The next team is actually going to still carry over Rosa, but introduce Will. So the reason that we're going to introduce Will is because Will already has an amazing toolkit in stored power mainly, with that one particular move and the fact that he can basically just get boosted, and then he has Impervious, which prevents him from lowering any of his stats. Holy cow, can you imagine the just total number of damage that you would do in an entire battle if you could just keep going? Like, the damage potential of that one team is so crazy high. Between Reuniclus with Psychic and then with Will with Stored Power after he's been boosted, holy cow. And then the last team that I have is actually just a complete 180 here. So I would actually like to see Lisa and Roxanne on a team with Caitlin. And the reason for that is because Lisa and Roxanne actually have this interesting little boost that they can do to our regular defense and our special defenses. Plus, Roxanne actually has Wide Guard, which allows us to basically mitigate a lot of sync move damage. And then we can actually just kind of go to town with two different Pokemon that have Psychic. So it could be a really interesting situation with those three, not necessarily like top tier, like this is the best damage output or anything like that. I just think it would be a really fun team to utilize. So all in all, Caitlin and Reuniclus are a decent little package. Game breaking? No, not at all. Worth getting? Sure, I would say that's a pretty fair assessment. If you have a little bit of gems saved up, why not? Just go ahead and go for it. But should you really be breaking the bank or burning the wallet to get these? No, not particularly. Not for me, at least. Now, as always, if Caitlin or Reuniclus are fan favorites of yours, by all means, get what is going to make you happy in terms of what you want to play with. I mean, there's no reason not to do that. But if you're just looking at it as a pure utility, should I have these for future purposes, or are they going to be super beneficial now? 50-50, honestly. Like, it could be a good thing to have her. It may prove useless in the near future. Kind of unfortunately where we sit. With that being said, though, we are going to try our hand at getting Caitlin. So let's just actually take a quick look here. She is going to be boosted, so this is her spotlight. As you can see, that 5-star pool is getting quite crowded. We are down to 0.5%. Holy cow. Alright, so let's just do our daily discount, see if we get anything, and we may do a couple of normal scouts and so let's go ahead and throw that down. Oh, no. No, you have got to be joking. You have got to be joking. There is no way. Oh my god. Dude, what is that? How? Holy cow. Okay, so that is probably the best case scenario that I could have ever asked for in this situation. So, okay. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go basically power up Caitlin, get her set up, and then in the next upcoming days we're gonna go through her story event, and we're basically gonna be utilizing her and basically just kind of trying to show off a little bit of things that you can do with Caitlin. But holy cow, that was pretty freaking amazing. So that's actually going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks so much for watching. As always, if you are interested in joining the Discord, it is down in the description below. There is a ton of Pokemon Go stuff in there, but I also do have tons of stuff for Pokemon Masters as well if you are interested. I didn't talk about any of her passives. While they're decent for her, they're just not, they don't really help her in many ways, especially in co-op, and in solo they basically just prevent a bunch of status conditions. But either way, that is actually going to be it. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks so much for watching. I'm just going to go ahead and head out. So, scene. Thank you guys so much for watching. Always remember that if you like to like videos, you could do that, but if you don't, you could be that guy. Otherwise, let me know what you have to say down in the comments below about the video. I do highly appreciate you guys watching. If you guys want to support me in any way, there are several links down in the description for Patreon, joining the community here on YouTube, or even just directly PayPal if that's your thing. I greatly appreciate everyone's name that's on screen, as you guys have showed some sort of support outside of just viewing the videos, and I thank you guys. You don't understand from the bottom of my heart. So until our next video, guys, I will catch you then.